This is Peru's Vilcanota Mountains, high in the Andes. It's home to Quechua communities who've lived in this remote terrain for generations. Communities are still guided by shamanic rituals and the mountain spirits. But in recent years, shamans have been warning villagers the spirits are unhappy, pointing to sporadic rainfall and changing weather patterns as proof.
The
mountains and Mother Earth provide us with life, with crops, with cattle, pasture and shelter. They provide us with the blessings of life. We have to continue making offerings to the spirits of Mother Earth and the spirits of our main crop, the potato, because if we don't keep the spirit happy, then we are not going to have the rich harvest that we want to have and that we need.
For the past 4 years, Alejandro Argumedo from the Millennium Assessment Team has helped local communities study how their environment is changing and find out why.
The dry season is getting longer. We have rainy seasons that are more harder. Some of the species that used to be native to the lower parts are coming to these higher parts. So all the system is changing.
The project has been endorsed enthusiastically by the villagers. Using rudimentary drawings and figures, they've begun to reach surprising conclusions.
Everybody's participating. As you have seen, women are very active participants. The elders and the shamans are present here, all are participating.
Villagers now voice concerns that the dramatic growth of tourism in recent years could be damaging their way of life. Every year, over 450,000 visitors flock to nearby Machu Picchu, Peru's most famous Inca site. Up to 2,000 people visit the ancient citadel every day, with numbers growing by 6% a year. Peru's tourist authority says Machu Picchu earns $6 million a year for the country. Another $3 million comes from the Inca Trail, the ancient path that cuts through these mountains to the ruins.
This is the first time these communities that live in the region have all worked together. I see this as a good thing for us. We have not done this exercise before. We have not examined what we have and what we are losing before. There are lots of tourists coming to our communities, but these are enterprises and companies from out of town. Tourism is not benefiting us.
They think also that people that come here don't have respect for the mountains, and they believe that it's visitors that have not an understanding of that spiritual relation with the mountains that make the mountains angry. So the mountains are making droughts to last longer.
Through their work with Alejandro and the Millennium Assessment, villagers have come up with a solution. Here in the village of Tinki, 142 kilometres from Cusco and 3,800 metres up, community leaders are getting ready to launch the Vilcanota Spiritual Park. The park is to be a community conservation area. Entrance fees will benefit local communities, who in turn will reinvest the money in the land, thus ensuring the region's long-term survival. Visitor numbers will be restricted. The project already has the backing of the government.
Then we believe that this park could provide inspiration, because we promote those principles of conservation so that would educate to people how to why we have to respect nature, the sacredness of life itself.
The idea is based on a highly successful project called El Parque de la Papa, or Potato Park. In 2003, 8,000 villagers from 6 communities joined their ancestral lands together to create this 9,000-hectare park. Farmers grow over 1,200 varieties of potato, the basis of the Quechua diet, and sell what they grow. More important, they've reclaimed several indigenous varieties of potato consumed in the Andes for over 7,000 years and thought to have disappeared. The success of Potato Park was the inspiration behind Spiritual Park. Local people hope this will be the first of many similar parks in the region.
Iya compañero, kuna punche kharsans mahinaka.
We need people to recognise the park that we are establishing, but equally importantly, we need people to recognise and respect our culture. The work we're doing with native potatoes, medicinal plants, and everything else we harvest are all very important to our communities. I think it's important that our communities stay strong and work together to make sure this park becomes a reality.
People believe that if you don't have respect for the land, you don't have respect for the mountains, then of course the mountains and the land are not going to have respect for you.
Over 2,000 scientists in 90 countries have taken part in the Millennium Assessment. Organisers hope it'll now become a regular event, an in-depth health check for the planet.